Alright guys, what's up? So like promised, today is my bike reveal video. I know it's not too exciting, it's just a bike. I mean, it's not like I've been here for a while and I just bought a new one and you're all anticipating what it's gonna be, and you know, I've only got like 50 views or something, so there's not that many people that are trying to guess at it. Like I said, unfortunately I did record this one time already, but the GoPro sucks and, well, it didn't record any audio. I have the video footage, but that's it, no audio. So without further ado guys, this is my bike. Do excuse the fact that it don't look too good. As you can see, a lot of the stuff's zip tied on here. I mean, the zip tie right here is holding wires on, but you know, it's my bike, it gets me where I need to go, that's it. So this is a 2003 Gixxer 600. The 2001 through 2003 models were the same. When I bought this bike, it didn't work. Literally whenever I went to go pick it up, the guy dragged it out of his shed. It looked like something out of a movie. It was really ghetto. There was like a upside down rusted car and everything. There was car parts everywhere, and he just pulled this out the back. It had cobwebs all over it. All the bolts are rusted. I don't know if you can tell, but like this bolt's not here, this bolt's rusted. I mean, they're all rusty. There's not really any good parts about the physical qualities of this bike. The exhaust pipe, as you can see, has seen better days. I don't even really want to get into why it's like this. I don't know for a fact if it is a Yoshimura exhaust, but the bracket right here has the little Yoshi symbol, and by the looks of the headers, it does look like a full system. I'll show you, but you probably can't see anything. Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to see in there, but I'm pretty sure it's a full system. I think it's the RS3 or something like that. It is for the 2003 Gixxer, so it is an old exhaust. However, it does sound nice. I don't know if you can tell in my previous video, but it's quite loud. Most of the time it's a little too loud. I try not to go out too late at night, especially on school nights, because I don't want to wake up any of my neighbors, but you know, sometimes I gotta go out. But if I do, I'll roll down my street in like second gear, keeping it quiet or something. All the packing is hanging out of it, and it's hanging out the bottom here too. I've tried fixing it as best as I could. I have this little clamp thing that I tried on it, but it just slipped off and this slid down. I tried using glue, I tried using duct tape, I tried everything. I tried gardening wire, I drilled some holes in it, tied it together. That didn't work out too well. Maybe one day I'll try something different. Maybe I'll weld a piece of metal onto it or something, but I was planning on getting a new exhaust. I can't find one for this bike specifically, at least not a reasonably priced one, so I probably have to weld just a random pipe on it basically. The tires are pretty much brand new. They've been on the bike for about 3 or 4 months maybe. Whenever I got it, the front tire was literally just riding on this little strip right here. That's all. The rest of it was like it was a triangle. It just went down. So anytime I would take like a sharp turn, or any turn for that fact, I'd try and go as slow as I could. It was really sketchy. It wouldn't handle too well either. The back tire, it wasn't flat, but like it had air in it, but the tire was flat. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like a plate basically. And then finally one day I got a nail in the back tire, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna plug this, order some new tires, and go get it changed. The chain I did also do recently. I think I need to tighten it. My dad said he thinks, yeah, it's a little bit loose. It's not too bad though. Apparently it's a high performance chain, but whatever, a chain is a chain really. As long as it's not gonna break on me, that's fine. The brakes, I did change the fluids, I changed all the oil. The gas tank, I spray painted it black, okay? Now it looks really bad because I spray painted primer on it too, and I didn't know that the black paint was in fact black paint and primer. So the primer set weird, and then the black paint set on top of it, so it looks all drippy kind of. The tank used to be blue. You can see down here the black paint's kind of coming off a bit, but it was all chipped and cracked. I mean, this entire section right here was just metal tank, and then right here it was all chipped off. There was cracks all over it, and it was peeling off, and so I decided, you know what, I'll just paint over it. It did look nice though. Oh, the mirrors. Whenever I got the bike, it did have the 2 stock mirrors on it, but one of them was completely shattered and the other one just had no glass at all. So I bought a new set of mirrors that do go up on top of here, but before I put them on, I somehow lost one of them, so I only had one on for a couple months, and I decided to finally get these ones. If you ride and you don't have these on your bike, I suggest getting them. They are absolutely perfect. I don't know if you can see or not, but I mean, it shows everything. I mean, these mirrors, they show your shoulder, you have to constantly lean over and look, but these mirrors show everything out to the sides, and that's all you need. You don't need to be looking at yourself. The frame sliders I didn't put on there, they're already on there. This lever was already on here, I didn't feel like changing that. I think that's pretty much it for the physical section. The back does have an integrated tail light and blinkers, but they stopped working. Don't know why. I'm gonna have to open the back up and check the wires. The trunk space though on this bike, I was very surprised. It has a lot of space. I mean, I can put a hell of a lot of stuff in here. My old bike, my Ninja 250, didn't have that much space. I could put like my wallet in it, my phone, and maybe a t-shirt, and that was it. But this does have a lot of space. It's helpful because most of the time I don't need to ride with a backpack. You know, if I go to the store and get a Coke or something, I can stick it in there. If I go get some candy or a bag of chips, it fits in there perfectly. I don't need to take a backpack with me. Now, mechanically, when I got the bike, it didn't run at all. You know, I'd put the key in it, turn it, nothing would light up, nothing would happen. I was kind of in the dark when I bought it. The dude had no idea what was wrong with it. He said that he thinks the stator and the rectifier need replacing, and he was right, they did need replacing. I'll get to that in a second. The first thing I did was take the battery out and charge it. So I took the battery out, charged it, put it back in. I turned the key, and everything would light up. You know, the horn would work and blinkers would work. Lights came on, everything was fine, but it wouldn't turn over. You know, I'd push the button, nothing would happen. And yes, I did make sure I was pulling in the clutch. It was in neutral, kickstand was up, all that. So I took all the fairings off. I gave it a good look down. I spent about maybe 3 or 4 hours just writing down everything that I think is wrong with it. And the first big thing that I noticed was right here inside of here, there was this big ball of duct tape kind of. And you know, it was just dangling here, and it had another like big long line of duct tape holding it up here, and I was like, what the fuck is this? So the first thing I did was I got a little razor and just neatly cut the duct tape a little bit and opened it and saw there was some wires in there. So I continued cutting it off, took it all off, and lo and behold, it was another ignition switch, right? So it did have an ignition switch up here, but it also had one down here. Now the weird part is that the key was duct taped in the on position. I don't know why anybody would do that or why they would think that was a good idea, but they did it. So I'm guessing that fried the battery, the stator, the rectifier, all that. So I took that out, tried starting the bike. You know, I hot wired this one back up to the connector, and it still wouldn't work. So I took this one out, tried taking this off, but right here, this pin, the plastic had been melted. I guess since it had been on for too long, the plastic had melted. And it kind of, when it hardened, formed together. So trying to take it off was really a pain in the ass. It wouldn't come out. It took 2 of us, me pulling on this end and the other guy pulling on this end, before it finally came out. Now the pin that was burnt and melted was the connector to the fuel pump. So that's why whenever I would turn the key and push the ignition, nothing would happen. You know, the fuel pump wouldn't prime, the bike wouldn't turn over, and it's because the fuel pump wasn't getting any power. So my first thought was, okay, let me just check the fuel pump first. Maybe the fuel pump got fried as well. Well, I take the fuel pump out, and all it was a pump. You know, the fuel pump assembly consisted of, I think, like 7 or 8 parts. There was only one part, and that was the fuel pump. There was no filter, there was nothing else. So I ordered a fuel pump assembly which cost about, I think, $170, something like that. So it was a pretty expensive purchase. Put it in there, tried the bike, and it still wouldn't work. So now I was wondering, okay, so maybe the ignition switch is the problem as well. So I ordered another ignition switch. That's why I've got two different keys. This one's for the gas tank, this one's for the ignition. So I ordered the ignition switch, which was another like $130, I think. Maybe I got them flipped. Maybe that one was $130, that was $170. But I put it in, plugged it in, started the bike, and it worked fine, you know. Everything ran perfectly. It sounded great. You know, I'd give it a few revs. You know, it wouldn't shut off. Everything was pretty much perfect. A couple minutes later, it died. So I said, okay, the dude was probably right. It needs a new stator and rectifier. So I took the stator cover off, got my multimeter, tested it, and it tested fine. So I said, okay, what about the rectifier? Now the rectifier tested bad. So I ordered a new rectifier. Put it in, still didn't work. Tested the rectifier again, and apparently the rectifier tested the stator again, and the stator was bad. So I don't know, maybe the first time I tested it wrong, but the second time I tested it, it tested bad. So ordered a new stator, put that in. Finally, the bike ran perfectly fine. I left it running for about 2-3 minutes, you know, giving it revs. Tested the battery with a multimeter again. The voltage never dropped. So I said, okay, it's time for a test ride. Took it around my block, you know. Now, keep in mind, this was my first time riding a 600cc bike, so I was a little sketched out. You know, I was taking it really slow. I would stall it a few times, but I didn't loop it, which is good, you know. My main concern was I was going to give it too much throttle and fly backwards, but that never happened. I've still yet to do a wheelie on it, so I don't know what's up with that, but I was scared for nothing, I guess. But so I come home and I'm like, cool, it's fine. So I start riding the bike daily, you know. I get my insurance sorted out, and I take it, you know, to work and back. But yeah, guys, that's it. Tell me what you think of the bike. Also, comment down below, what bike do you want? You know, if you don't ride yet, tell me what bike you want. What is your dream bike? Obviously, a lot of people's dream bikes are like Hayabusas, ZX14s, Ninja H2s, but, you know, for your first bike, what do you want? You know, be reasonable. Don't say that you want a CBR 1000 unless, you know, you really do feel comfortable on it. You know, if you're 18 years old, you know, weigh 120 pounds like I do, you know, little stick arms, don't go ahead and start on a 1000, you know. Start slow. I started on a 250, and I don't regret it, you know. It was slow, but I learned a lot. I didn't get in any trouble on it. You know, I got one speeding ticket for going 60 in a 45. No, it was 53 in a 40. That might be a topic for another video. But yeah, tell me what bike you want, and if you already ride, tell me what bike you ride. Tell me what bike you want. You know, if you have a Suzuki 600, tell me, why do you have that bike? You know, was it just because it was cheap, or was it because you actually like the Suzukis? You know, tell me what you like about the Suzukis. If you have a Honda, same thing. Tell me what you like about Honda. So yeah, guys, that's it for this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe, and comment. Your feedback is always gonna help me, you know. Whether it's bad, you know, you say, well, you need to talk louder, or you say, well, good job, you know, I think you're talking perfectly fine. Either way, that feedback is still what I need to get better, you know. If you don't tell me what I'm doing wrong or tell me what I'm doing right, I can't improve on that, and I can't make better quality videos for you guys. So anyway, guys, and that was a nice Tesla too. Alright, peace.